Welcome back to episode 17 of Not Another Moto Pod, hosted by Sam Fury. Round 15 is in the books. The Pittsburgh race, first time we've raced in Pittsburgh since 1983. Awesome new venue on the circuit here. Continuing to make history in the 250 East class with our seventh different winner in one calendar year is just an insane stat that we've got here in a stacked 250 East class. So. Good racing in the 450 class as well, so let's look at it. Beginning, as always, with the 250 class. As I just mentioned, Tom Vial finally got his first win of the season. Third Supercross win of his short career. This is his third season. Obviously, has already gathered a championship running that number one plate, but we were really questioning whether he was going to get a win this season. Looked like he was just not as fast as some of the other guys, and just, as I mentioned, such a stacked field, but Tom got out and he got it done. He's now going to be the sole holder of the red plate going into the last round for the 250 East class. Sitting in the driver's seat, just an unbelievable race by Tom Vial. He looked fast all day, looked good in qualifying despite a scary crash. He did his best. It came back from that. Luckily was not hurt. This is a couple weeks in a row that he's had a pretty scary one and has come back not hurt from it. So really good for Tom Vial to bounce back. Unbelievable that he finished last place several weeks ago in Foxborough, and what do you know, 3 weeks later he has the red plate again. Just awesome riding from him tonight, and did what he had to do to stay up front. Made a late pass on Nate Thrasher after a really good start. So solid finish there by Tom Vial, and as I said, he's now going to be the sole red plate holder. Second place, Nate Thrasher. Nate looked good all night. Really good riding by Nate. Honestly, he's been hot lately. To me, I don't know what. It just seems like he's going to go out and win this final shootout here in a couple of weeks in Salt Lake City. I feel like he could play spoiler in somebody's championship here in a few weeks. He just looks fast. Obviously couldn't hold on. Tom put the pressure on there, but Nate looked really good and is coming back around in a form. Third place, Max Volan. Incredible ride by Max. Really good to see him on the podium. First podium of his young career. Has had several fourths, but never a podium. So really good for him to get on there with the Club MX Yamaha. Obviously, we all know the struggles. He's got this drop foot issue, so doesn't ride with the rear brake. So he's riding with multiple hand brakes, which is just unbelievable. Something we've probably never seen in this sport before. But so really great ride by him. He was challenging early with Tom Vial to get second. Vial got him back, and then Max did actually drop back to fourth when RJ got him, and then RJ took a spill, and Max held on to third place from there. So really good ride from him. He was battling with RJ in the heat race as well. He looked fast all night, so good for Max Volan. Fourth place, RJ Hampshire. As I mentioned, RJ had gotten into third. He didn't really have anything for the top two guys tonight. He did win his heat race. He looked solid there, and fought back after battling with Volan there. But just a lot of the same in the main event here. Got into third, took a spill, got up very quickly, and was able to retain fourth place, fortunately for RJ. He's only going to be 3 points back from the red plate, so he goes out and wins in Salt Lake, and he can effectively win this thing regardless. So no harm done there. Fifth place, Seth Hamaker. Rough night from Seth Hamaker. He had a really good heat race. Looked again to be the class of the field. Unfortunately, had a terrible start in the main event. Got wrapped up. Almost went down. I think he ran into Lance Kobush, Lance Kobush jumped onto him. And then he got into Hardy Munoz. I think he was 15th after the first lap, so fought his way up to fifth place, which is absolutely the last spot he could have finished on the night. He needed to be in this top five. So great ride by Seth despite everything early in the race. So he's only going to be 1 point back of Tom Vial and 2 points clear of RJ there for the points hunt. Sixth place, Chance Hymas. Chance actually had a good start and just rode up front with the guys. Obviously lost the position to Seth Hamaker there late, but a good solid ride from Chance Hymas after a couple rough weeks here. Obviously got the win in Foxborough in the mud, and then had kind of a rough 2 weeks from there. Seventh place, Cullen Park. Solid ride from Cullen Park, about where he belongs all year. We've seen it a lot, so really solid riding by Cullen on the season. We know Cullen Park is fighting for this fourth place in the points. I think Nate Thrasher is currently fourth. Got him back on the night. Cullen Park obviously has a fourth place bonus in his contract that he's fighting for here. So look to see what he can do in the showdown here in Salt Lake City in a couple weeks for the finale. Eighth place, Henry Miller. Good riding by Henry Miller, about where we've seen him all year. Don't see much of him on TV, but just solid riding all around. Ninth place, Devin Simonson, second straight week with a ninth place for Simonson. This is only his second week back, so really great riding by Devin Simonson aboard that Club MX Yamaha. The Club MX team really having a great year all around between Max Volan, Devin Simonson, Cody Schock. Schock and Volan obviously have both put it on the podium this year, so really good riding for all these guys. 10th place, Bryce Shelley. 11th, Isaiah Clark. 12th, Aiden Shive. Don't see too much of these guys on TV. 13th, Justin Rodbell. 14th, Trevor Collop. 15th, Austin Faulkner. Unfortunate for Austin Faulkner. He did go down. We did see it, and he did go back to dead last. So solid riding for him to get back to 15th place. It was decently early, maybe 2 or 3 laps into the race when he went down. I think he qualified 7th or so on the night, so he was looking to get back into form, but just unfortunate. 16th, Kobush. 17th, Hardy Munoz. As I mentioned, both of these guys, I believe, got into it with Hammaker early in the race, unintentional race incidents, but neither went down, but kind of ruined the flow of their race there. 18th, Jack Chambers. 19th, Jack Rogers, second week in a row. These are his first 2 main events ever, so really good riding for him. I think he had an 18th last week and a 19th this week, solid good. 20th, Vincent Lahovey, the hometown kid, rocking the Pittsburgh Steelers gear. 21st, Matty Jorgensen. I believe this is Matty's first 250 main event of the year. Matty is more of an outdoors guy, so solid riding there for Matty Jorgensen. Haven't seen his name much this year. And 22nd, Luke Neese. Looking at the points, as I mentioned, Tom Bial now has a 1-point lead over Seth Hammaker and a 3-point lead over RJ Hampshire. Essentially, this could create a winner-take-all scenario going into Salt Lake City, but of course, with that being a showdown with both coasts there, things could get crazy with the points. Looking forward to seeing that. As I mentioned, all these guys look good right now. I think Nate Thrasher could be a spoiler. I think obviously Cole Davies, Hayden Deegan from the other coast could be spoilers, so it would be really interesting to see how this turns out. I think the last time we had a points race this close going into the Salt Lake City, well, I should say the finale, it used to be Las Vegas, was the 2017 showdown that we had that, of course, saw, I believe it was Jordan Smith go down early. Then we saw the battle between Zach Osborne and Joey Savatgy, which was just an unbelievable race and a historic race that we've seen in this class. So looking to see maybe a repeat of that would be awesome, going into Salt Lake here in 2 weeks. Of course, next week we do go west to the West Coast for the Denver round. It'll be the last all-West race, obviously, and then we'll jump into the showdown there in Salt Lake City. Let's jump over to the 450 class. Cooper Webb, what do you say? He responded when he needed to. This was kind of his last ditch. From what most people are thinking, Chase is better on that West Coast dirt. Chase is going to have the advantage in Denver and Salt Lake. And where we're at in the points, it was looking like Chase was gonna chase him down, for lack of a better term. And Cooper Webb needed this win, and he went out there. He dominated. He led from start to finish. He put together 20 minutes plus 1 lap of perfect riding. Chase had nothing for him. Chase was in second the entire race, and Cooper Webb just rode a perfect ride to really put a stranglehold on this championship. Second place, Chase Sexton. Man, I'm just dumbfounded that Chase had nothing for Coop on the entire night. He didn't even get close enough to show him a wheel. That was the craziest thing. He got the gap down to just over half a second, and it just couldn't get closer. He had nothing for him. You got to give him props for switching to the jump line in the whoops, at least giving it a chance. We've seen Chase in the past be adverse to changing lines, and it would kind of get him in trouble. The blitzing was working for him for a while. I wish he would have gone back to the blitzing after the jump line didn't work for him after a couple laps. With about 12 minutes left, he started that jump line and never stopped. And I really think that took away all of his advantage. But you got to give him props. He was at least out there trying new things, trying new lines, things that Sexton has had trouble with in the past. But man, it's unbelievable to think that Chase Sexton, of all people, just had nothing for Cooper Webb on the night. Third place, Justin Cooper. Really good bounce back from Cooper. He went backwards early in the race, made some good passes, and then got passed by a few guys. So really good to see him jump his way back into third. He had the fastest lap of the night, of the entire night. He had a good jump line through the whoops, and then he had a really good line that we saw a lot in the heat race in that split lane that was working for him. So really good ride for Jay Coop to get his second podium of the year. Again, he really looked fast, so good for him. Fourth place, Aaron Plessinger. Plessinger, he went backwards early, so he got back up to fourth was good, but he was up back to like seventh at one point after starting in third. So really odd race for AP. Not used to what we're seeing from him in the last 6 or so weeks, but a good ride for him to get back into fourth. Fifth place, Malcolm Stewart. Malcolm's been riding good. His documentary came out this week. Would have been really cool to see him land on the box, with everything coming out this week, but good for him to finish in fifth. Made some passes late in the race to move forward. Sixth place, Ken Roxon. Roxon was looking really feisty early in the race. Made passes on Ferrandis, AP, Jay Coop. He was up into third place for a while and then just kind of lost the toe and dropped back to fifth. And then Malcolm got him there on the last lap to drop him back to sixth place. Obviously, the championship for now is gone for Roxon, but it looks like he's going to finish in a solid third place this year. But again, a good ride for him nonetheless. Obviously, dropping back to sixth after being in third, but still looks fast out there late in the season, which is a really positive sign for Roxon. Seventh place, Dylan Ferrandis. Ferrandis was actually up to fifth. Had a really good blitz line through the whoops. It's what bummed me out that Sexton stopped blitzing, is that Ferrandis looked really fast in him all night. And if Ferrandis can hit the whoops, and so can Chase. But like I said, at least Chase tried something different. But solid riding for Ferrandis, backing up some good rides with a seventh place here. Eighth place, Joey Savacci. Savacci made a couple passes late. I think he was 11th and made his way up to 8th, so good ride for Savacci. Shane McElrath had kind of a backwards ride from what we're used to seeing from him lately. Usually he's started up front and gone backwards. This week he started 13th, 14th, and moved his way forward. So good ride for Shane McElrath, 9th, one of his better finishes on the year. So solid for him. 10th place, backing up at last week's 9th, it was Dean Wilson. Good to see him get back-to-back 10th place after his first race back, of course, the 17th place. But Dino looks good. Looking forward to seeing what he's got these next 2 weeks. 11th, Mitchell Oldenburg. Solid riding by him. Is kind of where he belongs this year. A really good year for Freckle. 12th, Colt Nichols. Moving forward a position from his back-to-back 13th places that we've seen from Colt. Again, kind of a 12 to 15 guy all season. Justin Hill, 13th. Hill must have had a crash because he was fighting early with Savacci. So it looks like he must have gone down or maybe run out of steam late there in the race. But good ride by Hill nonetheless. Obviously, we look to see him up towards the top 10, but 13th, not terrible. 14th, Christian Craig. Just no juice for Christian this year, unfortunately. 15th, Freddie Noren. 16th, Chiz. 17th, Mitchell Harrison. 18th, Grant Harlan. 19th, Kevin Morans. These guys are kind of, the back of the pack guys. 20th, Jeremy Hand. 21st, Cade Clayson must have gone down. He was about 5 or 6 laps back. 22nd, Benny Bloss. I think about halfway through must have gone down or had a bike issue. They DNF'd that race. As I mentioned, Cooper Webb now has a 12-point lead over Chase Sexton. Really puts a damper on the championship. Unfortunately, going into Denver with only 2 races left, I think Coop can finish as far back as third in both races, even with Sexton winning, and still win this thing. So, again, really unfortunate for the championship, but it stayed close for quite a while. I would bet the house on Chase Sexton going out and winning next week. Who's to say with Salt Lake, but maybe something happens. It could be interesting going into the final round. Would always love to see it, in single digits going into the final race. But like I said, I think Sexton probably has the advantage here in Denver. Next week. I guess we'll see what happens there with the championship. But looking forward to a good race next week, nonetheless. That's all we've got this week. But if you want to follow us on Twitter, X, YouTube, Spotify, as usual, at Not Another Moto Pod. Thanks for listening.